Hmm. Greetings, AC fellow glue. Greetings for Turkey. Yo, what time is it there? Hmm. So how big is the and let's see. It is quite big for the arm. I wish that maybe I could talk to the maker of this model, Waruna. Oh, okay. I am at midnight right now. Yeah, I wish I could talk to the maker of this model, Waruna, to cut off the head, like about this here, about this, so we could have minimum damage to the arm because my plan is to orient it like this. In this orientation, you could see there will be some support there, but there's another way to give it a minimum support. There's another orientation to give it a minimum support, but that depends heavily on your printer settings. John's is better Lychee or CHITUBOX. I use both. For support, I mainly use Lychee now, and for slicing, I use CHITUBOX because all of my print profiles are they are in CHITUBOX, and I haven't tried the latest update on Lychee for slicing, but I prefer to use CHITUBOX for slicing. Okay, there is one orientation that I could use for this model for minimum support, but that might depends heavily on your printer settings. But I'm not sure if Varuna printer settings can handle this orientation. So on this orientation, I will give a very heavy support around just the neck area, around this area only, and leave the rest unsupported. Maybe just one or two support here, because I'm not confident that his printer can handle that. So let's just return to this orientation. Looks good. Give it a raise, like maybe like 5 millimeters is fine. And then hollow the model. He usually use thickness 2 millimeters and quality for rebuilding hollow. Let me show you why I mostly support on CHITUBOX now. I'm about to place the drain hole. See, I always said to put your drain hole at the lowest point or facing down. But on this hand here, if I give him drain hole, for example, let's say give it 1 millimeters, I have to place drain hole here, 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 and here. And sorry. Give them 3 millimeters. Undo, 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 undo. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that is gonna be adding a lot of work to cover the drain hole because it has texture for the fingers, the skin's texture. And I would use the blockers. Let's give it a cylinder shape. You you click on the square shape to adjust the size, and then I need it to be higher. I mean longer, something like that. About this, and you could slide it down, and you could see the hollow part is gone. So I could just let's work on the other side too. You could add new support. Sorry, I mean you could add new blocker by click outside of the blocker, the previous blocker, and then you could add new blocker. Or in my case, I will just duplicate and then slide it, and then do a quick check. Raise it a bit more. Click update, and exit. Exit from the blocker. So now the hollow is no longer start at the uh, I'm not sure what to call this area. No longer start around the hands, but behind the armbands. And it will be easier because this area is much more flat and it will be easier to putty and sand this area. Let's see how big I could give the hole. I always just use 3 millimeters. I prefer 3 millimeters. Okay, looking good. And let's, oh, looks like there's some weird on the model. See, there's a minuscule gap, but it is fine. It is fine. And another, actually, I prefer to have it facing inside of the arm, but because the situation is not supporting, so place it there. Now, around the arm, there are no hollows part at all. See? So imagine you need to putty and sand this area. It is much easier to work with because they are relatively flat. Now add more support. This is the lowest part. It is facing down, very ideal. This area might need some smaller drain hole. Let's give it a size 1 millimeter. Okay, some people will go against using 1 millimeter size drain hole, but it works. It works very well. See? And then pull it up again. Switch to size 3 millimeters. Let's give it several more holes so you could drain them faster and have it clean and dry the interior faster. I mean the interior. And one more hole down. Sorry. Sorry. Pull it all the way up. No suction cup. No suction cup. Now there is a very minimal area here. Ah, that might be a suction cup, so I think I need to adjust a bit. Oh, it's kind of sunk. Let's see how big it is. Because we might take a risk to not putting any drain here because there's no there's no way you could put any drain here. Okay, we will only know the result after Waruna printed, and I will keep you update of the print result. Now let's put another drain hole around the neck pack. So these are the drain hole. They are finished. One of the advantage why I use Lychee Pro lately because of that one, because of the block for to block any hollow, any area that you don't want to be hollow, and then structure snap on green on grid interval 4 millimeters. This so I could add as many support and they all look neat in a very clean line. And then I have to admit the island detection is quite good on Lychee. Let's see how long it will take to generate an island. While waiting for the detection, do you guys want to add something? Ooh, it might take forever. My PC is getting old and slow. Oh my god, my PC is getting old. Yeah, I need to upgrade my PC soon. And also depends on the size of the file. The bigger your file, the longer the detection is gonna take. Maybe because they are calculating or something working with the polygon or the mesh. Well, okay, it looks fine. Not that long. Maybe like the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Hopefully, if you are watching the rerun, you might want to skip ahead several minutes. Still detecting islands, still detecting. Okay, this model has like the base, right leg, left, and then the waist, torso, and then head. There will be 6 files that I will be working on today live support, so it will be long. Premium Nume, sorry, Prenume Nume. As a rule of thumb for minutes, how much resin usage should be the support to object ratio? There is no such ratio or formula because for minutes, it depends on your minutes design. But let's say it is a very simple minutes. Maybe it should only be like 20 or 30% of your minutes volume. Hang on, I need to adjust the camera while waiting for the island's detection. I need to adjust the camera. But for minis, I could give it a very let's say it is a very simple minis, you should be able to use a very minimum support because you only need to add anchor zero point 0.4 or heavy support size, usually under the sole of the mini's foot. Give it like two or three, and then maybe one or two or three more support for around the higher part islands that might have a very high suction force. And then for the rest, you could use a very small tip. Yeah, maybe let's just like 20 or 30% of the mini's volume. It is it is not exact. There is no exact formula or ratio when working on support. It all depends on the model. Almost finished. Islands detection. Almost finished. Yes. Now, there are plenty of false island detected here, but at least we have an idea on where we should place the islands. Like this area here, they definitely do not need any support at all. This here, yes, it needs support. This, okay. And this is why no amount of auto support can match knowledge and experience. So let's start with this area here. Although I say this is minimum support, the focus on this model is for production and minimize post production cleaning up the support mark. And our focus is to minimize the damage. So if you use auto support, then yeah, deal with all this support around the upper area or around the suit, and that is gonna be hell. So let's work start working on the support. This part is the pack and it will be hidden. So if there's any damage, it should be acceptable. This is where we are gonna butcher the area. We gonna put plenty of heavy support. This area is the foundation, the backbone of this model. I forgot I could use shift again. Let me repeat. Uh, you could click here and then press shift, and it will generate a row of support. And then over here too, I will give plenty of heavy support around the pack. Add more here to help it stable. This is how it looks so far. Sorry. Uh, Sergey Solenko. In base version, can I make hollow model inside or need plus version? If I'm not mistaken, on the free version for Lychee, you can make the hollow, but you cannot use the blocker. If I'm not mistaken, I kind of forget. I kind of forgot which is which. But I could be mistaken. But you could download the free version. You could test it. One thing that I can confirm is the blocker is not available on free version. We don't want the edge. See, this is another. These two, they are false islands, so leave them be. Leave them be. Add support on the place that you confirm, especially if you are an experienced user like me, that you could confirm that is a true island. But what I like from this island detection is both on CHITUBOX and on Lychee. Island detection helps you to find island faster. But sorry, no but sorry, no but no, I am working on around the edge for the stomach or waist area. Is this the stomach or the waist area? See, another false island. So at least it helps you to give you an idea where you have to place your support. More false island. It is fine. It is fine. No, we want to add more. I'm gonna add support here to keep this area stable during printing. It will be printed this area, this sorry. Okay, focus on this yellow part. We want to add several support here to keep this area stable during printing to avoid bad print lines. And then I will put drain holes around, sorry, I mean, I will put support around the drain hole. This is to help strengthen the support foundation. And then click from here to here. And then from here, shift to here. Let me lower it again. Let me show you. Let's focus on this area and this area. Their angle is kind of low. So you see it has a very wide surface area. And that is the purpose of this straight line of support. So I could switch to medium size. I'm gonna add several more because the area is quite big, and the purpose of switching to medium size support or the 0.3 millimeter support, they are to help this area print it well. They are not for foundation. They are not very strong, the medium size support. And then this area here too at the front, I'm gonna use just 0.3 because it's going to be printed as thin as the layer height that you choose. So you want give it a nice support here. See, this area is very wide, but they are also very thin at the same time. So there will be resistance from the resin when the model is moving up and down during printing. And that is the purpose of the zero point 0.3 or medium size support. Now, the hardest area on this model is around the fingers, around the knuckle. I have to use as minimum as possible heavy size for supporting this area. I'm trying to pick the area with the minimum texture. This is a heavy size support. I put three of them, and then I will check the slicing. This is definitely an island. We are quite lucky that this area quite flat, and another one here. On the rest of the area, I will add a very small support later. I want to address the heavy support first. See, this is an island. This point here is an island, but I cannot find a flat area. So I might need to use medium size, but focus on places that I could put heavy support first, because this heavy support is the most important, since the hand area here, they are not hollow, which means a very strong pulling force. Ideally, separate the arm is the best choice. So cut it maybe like here. That is usually the best option. Okay, this is quite large surface. I could put it there. I will adjust this a bit. Okay, for the rest, and maybe one here. Ooh, this is not ideal. The amount of heavy support is not ideal. So we are gonna look for a more flat area as an extra. This is another island that I almost missed. We're gonna look for more flat area that I could put heavy support. This is flat enough. This is quite flat. And then here, sorry, I cannot talk too much. Need extra focus. Okay, pause a bit. Pause a bit. Because some pieces that are well drilled and with a wall thickness of 2 meters, for example, bases start to open during the drying process, starting with crack and then start open bigger when the pieces. Oh, is that water washable resin? Wash well inside and removing the. Sorry, I cannot read it. Removing the what? And removing the resin. You mean remove the resin inside? That is clear. Is that a water washable resin? Can you confirm? Is that a water washable resin? It's Aqua 8K. You sure? I've been using Aqua 8K for years, but never experienced the models, the objects split after curing. The bases start to open during the drying process, starting with a crack. If you start with a crack, if your model cracks, usually it is because there are still some resin trapped inside. How do you wash it? How do you wash it? Do you just dip them in the alcohol IPA tub? Okay, it's time to switch to medium size support. Water wash ABS like resin. Water wash best for me. What brand? I gotta say, 99% of the time, if your model crack, that means the inside is not fully cured and there's still some resin left inside. 99% of the time. Especially the crack happens after during the drying process. You mean the drying or curing process? Also, another question is how long do you dip your model in the IPA? Now, I'm adding a bunch of medium size support. Medium size support uh, has less chance of damage the surface of your model, but around foundation or around area that has a very high peeling force, you might need a bunch of them. So not all the island will be supported. Uh, you are printing using Frozen Aqua 8K. What layer? What layer height and what is the exposure? Looking good. All looking good so far. Okay. Yellow, yellow. Waiting for the answer. Oh, I have to carefully tread this area. I cannot add too much, but I cannot put too little support. So um, I'm gonna use light support here around here. Light support, light support. We're gonna add a bunch of light support. Light support will not damage the surface at all. It has no strength against peeling force, but they are accompanied by medium and heavy size support. So in this hand part, there's no way I could give it a minimum support. But still, I will give it minimum support. I let my pieces dry for a couple of hours or even a little longer, and obviously I wash them with clean alcohol, so I don't think the resin fumes are, in my opinion. The problem more directly with the mesh model, which is very thin, that part of exposure. Bro, I have printed I have printed a model that only has 0.5 millimeter thickness wall, and the model do not crack. I've seen several posts and several comments saying that you cannot use wall thickness less than 0. Sorry, I mean you cannot use wall thickness less than 3 millimeters, or else your model will crack, etc., etc. But sorry, those are all wrong. I have printed a model with 0.5 millimeter thickness wall, and the model doesn't crack. Sorry, I cannot read the entire chat. A problem more directly with the mesh of the model, which is very thin. Nope, nope. It is not about the thinness of the wall. Okay, I think I am done with the left hand. Now let's do the headache again with the right hand. Heavy support there at several, and I could add heavy here, and then here they are quite flat. Maybe adjust it. What layer height if your exposure is 1.6 seconds? What is the layer height? 25 micron, 50 micron? What is the layer height? Okay, this area is quite flat. No, no, not place it here. And then, ooh, not much. So 0.05, 1.6 seconds. Um, I cannot say it is the best exposure or not, but on my settings for Aqua Grade 8K for 50 micron layer height is like 2 seconds. Maybe you could try 2 seconds and see if they still crack. But to me, 99% when your model crack during drying, the inside is still not clean very well. Because here's the idea: when you dip it in the IPA, did you repeat several times, let the inside rinse out, or you dip in the your maybe your wash and cure? You let them wash and then you take it out, let it rinse just once. If you let it rinse just one or twice, nope, that is not enough. You have to dip it again several times, like 3 to 5 times, to make sure the interior rinse well with the IPA. And that is why, to me, wash unit is kind of useless, because if you rely, even if the resin is new, sorry, I mean if the IPA is new, the exposure time was based on the exposure test, as it was the shortest time I got with, since my initial exposure time is 25 to 35 depending on the size of what is, I mean, again, I have to remind you all, whatever exposure calibration model that you use, they are not the final number. They are not the final number. It is, back in my days, it is only an initial number to help you start your exposure calibration. So whatever you think looks good on those calibration model, it may not work on your models, your real print models. You have to tune your exposure again during real print. On the hyperfine, I have a time of 1.5 seconds. Yes, I also use 1.5, or sorry, no, not 1.5. On hyperfine, I use 1.6 seconds. Again, exposure calibration model is not the final. You have to do real test print and then fine tune your exposure again. Okay, guys. I think I need to update my video about exposure calibration. People keep forget that exposure calibration model is only to help you as a starting point to set your resin exposure. It is not the final number. What FFP film you use? Huh? Why delete it, bro? My FFP film is the cheapest that I could find that is available on my local marketplace, and no special brand. The cheapest that I could find. Let's check it. Mm, okay, time to switch to light support to add extra protection. Hmm. Okay, another heavy here should do. Switch to light support again. Get it, guys? Remember, exposure calibration, what no matter whose calibration model that you use, they are not the final number. Fine tune again during real printing. Yes, there will be resin wasted. Yes, I have to agree. But if you don't want to waste any resin at all, then don't print. It's as simple as that. And resin these days, they are cheap. Why would I say they are cheap? Like when I first doing resin printing like 10 years ago, a bottle of resin, a liter of resin cost like $250. Can you imagine how 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 hurt it is on my wallet whenever I have a failed print? Sorry, I cannot read it. Somehow I cannot read it on my phone. Understood. I will do more tests, but as for the translucent resin of Frozen, the clear, I have problem that pieces do not hold enough with an exposure time of 13 seconds. The model is transparent, 13 seconds. Require me a sport with contact point of 0.8 millimeter onwards. I can only say translucent and transparent resin, they are very tricky. I am doing a test for InsLogic resin right now. They sent me the clear resin and it looks promising so far, but I have no final conclusion yet because according to them, after print and curing, it will have slight yellowing. But if you leave it after some time, it will turn clear. So I'm still waiting until it turns clear. The translucent resin of frozen clear. Are you sure your exposure is 13 seconds? Is that the bottom exposure or the normal layer exposure? Because 13 seconds is very long. Okay. We need to add. This area is quite flat here, so we could give some heavy support to compensate for the lack of support in this area. But I will use very light support. Sorry, I mean use the light support here, here, pick the flat area. This to help the model stable during printing. But around the armband, I will give it heavy support. They are to compensate the lack of support under the fingers, under the knuckle here. Yeah, maybe I will add more around the armband because this area is quite easy to fix if there any damage area. And do the same with this side light support. Ooh, light support will not leave damage on your print surface, so they are good to only good to help your model stable during printing. Switch to heavy support. Support this part. Now, most people will stop here, but no, this is not good. We need to add bridging before the armpit before the armpit meets this area, right? And we also might give several light support along the arm to keep them stable during printing. Now, if you understand about model, the purpose of this looks like cracked surface is to give it a texture for the model after. Sorry, I mean is to give texture on the model, and you could be very safe to put light support light, and it will not leave any mark at all on your model. And if it leave some mark, you will not notice it. You could you could just go cowboy like this. It should be fine. I guarantee you 100% it should be fine and will not show and will not leave mark at all on your model as long as you use light support or 0.22 millimeter size. Now let's give it the bridge here. So if you do not give the bridge here, sorry, if there are no, yeah, no, let's call it bridge. If you don't give it any bridge here during printing, when the object meets up here, there will be tug of war because there will be some shrinking during printing, and you will have some bad line around this area here. Sorry, I forgot the placement here. I will add more bridge here. This model is quite big. Oh, just so you guys know, the platform is the size of mighty 8K printer. And on the back, we also need to give zero point 0.2 and repeat the same on the other side. I'm just pressing shift. It will generate random lines, but it will be fine. 100% it will be fine as long as you use light support. And depends on the model. The model has a very high texture surface and it will hide. No, it will not hide. Zero point 0.2 will not make will not make any damage on your print surface. See? And we'll give it a line here and then more line here and we're done. We are done. At least for the exterior because I still need to check the interior. Let's go to the interior. Yeah, as I suspect this will be an island. Again, for interior, because there is no way we can remove the support. I will use the biggest support tip that I always use. The tip size is 0.6 millimeter. The mid is 1.2, and the base tip is 0. Wait, tip diameter. It should be 0.8. And interior support also help to maintain the shape of your model. See, there's like a bridging part here, so we want to give support along this area. Press C, and so I could see better by switching the visibility. Okay, now I am see this area here. We need if you guys encounter area like this, the white represent the printed layers. If you guys encounter area like this, especially on the interior, make sure you support them because they are like your regular bridge. They need a good foundation. If you don't support them, there is a high chance that around this height, around the height of this area, let me drag. There's a high chance around this area of your model, around this area, will have bad print lines. Okay, now let's do it to the other side. See the same white bridge. Let's call them white bridge. Looks like I have to invent my own terminology to explain what am I doing. The white bridge. Just don't mispronounce it. Another area here. See, let's support the white bridge area. I want to add some support because this is quite big island. I want to give it a very stable support. And then usually around the neck, but on this model there is no island or white bridge. Okay, now I'm gonna add several extra support. This is to maintain the shape of the model. I'm just doing it random. This is just random support. This is to help maintain the shape of the model because they are going to be printed hollow. So this is like when you use infill, but less material used compared to infill. And then around the square of the neck, see, there is another white bridge. Definitely need to support them. Now, that white bridge, no island detection can detect them. So yeah, that is the purpose of this live support. So you guys could tell what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why. 5W and 1H. And I'm gonna give it one straight line here. So I am basically finished. This is the least amount of support that I could use for this model. Now let's give them bracing. I set the bracing to my shortcut key Z. Sorry, click the model and then press Z. Or if you don't have the hotkeys, you could use this. Go to structure and then press update. Follow my mouse, follow my cursor, press update. Oh yeah, I just remember. I forgot to turn on the. Never mind. This I want to add some more bracing here. There's a gap here, so add add one more support. You could add one more support like this and brace them, or it too far. You could press Alt and then click this and then press Z. But I prefer the first one. prefer to add. It is fine to add some support, especially if you only use light support. If only I could use light support on all model. If only. Maybe someday there will be the best FEP that will not create any or peeling or suction force at all. Until then, yeah, this is how I would support this model. Now let's give it a nice wait. Maybe this model do not need any rough at all. Is there any okay. Yep, there are some accidental suction cup here and here. Yeah, let's just give them a nice thin rough thickness 0.5 millimeter. I want to get rid of the lip because with the lip of the rough, you are printing a very big suction cup. And this is how I would support this model. Now let's save it. Save scene as torso repair underscore supported. Okay. Now let's move on to the next model, the pants. Hang on. Okay, for the pants, it is quite easy and straightforward. Give, rotate somewhere like this. Now let's see, do I need to support behind the knee? Okay, let's rotate a bit more. Oop, I think I can be fine without supporting this. Let's see. Maybe just a bit more. A bit more will be fine. Now, this is based on experience because I know right away there will be island here. Up, up, up. Yeah, there's a very small island here, but trust me, you don't need to support this part. So we will only need to support around this area here. So let's lift the model, lift it 5 millimeters, and then follow them. Thickness 2 millimeters. Quality. Oh, let me show you guys what is quality. Now the quality is one update. So the mesh is very bad, very low quality mesh. Increase to four, the maximum number. Yo, update. Sorry, I think I forgot to click the update before. Now they looks much better now. So let's see the lowest suction cup. This area here, drain hole. Another area here. Lift it. Yep. Give more drain hole here. Slide it up. Nah, I could place the drain hole here and then one over here. Move up. I'm gonna add several more drain hole here so you could do faster and better on the washing cycle. This way you could rinse well the inside. That is why I am sure 99% if your model crack during drying or curing because the inside part is not rinsed and drained well. and then switch to the upper side. Oh no, I need to place it from the top. From the top, they are not full circle, so give it more penetration. Yep, more penetration. Okay, and then extra holes around the side of the pack. This is to ensure you can have a very nice flow of IPA to make sure the interior is clean and dry and no more residue. Maybe that is why the model cracked. Okay, I'm finished with all the drain holes. Now move to support, click the model, slap on grid interval for island detection. Okay, the accuracy is set to real. You could choose from fast, normal, detailed, real, but always use real. Again, while waiting for the detecting islands, any questions? Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. Okay. 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 Still waiting for the island's detection. Oh yeah, the file size for the pens is like 100 MB. The bigger the file size, the longer the island detection. I'm not sure. Should I upgrade my PC RAM to make it faster, or the GPU or the CPU? Yeah, I might need to ask anyone from Lychee. No questions? Anyone want to ask something? Just a little bit more for the island detection. A very little. Come on, a bit more. A bit more. Smash that button. Yeah, smash that likes button. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, now the island detection is finished. See, there are 800 islands detected. Nope, you don't need these. These are all. Most of them are false islands. So let's just focus on the real island. The edge of this model here. Switch to size heavy. Switch the visibility of the support just to the tip. I'm gonna support surround around the edge. This is quite thin. Yeah, make sure you place the support tip as close to the edge as possible. See, there's an island that is not detected. Let me show it again. Let us get close up. There is a white dot. There is an island that is not detected. Keep it going around the edge of the pants. Tip, tip, super tip. Hey, and yeah, that's it. Nope, not finished yet. Not finished yet. We need to support around the square here. So let's put one at the corner and then shift and then pull. Remember, you don't need to wait. Oh, looks like the surface is not flat. So yeah, so I need to manually click them. Shift button is not working on this surface. And then click this one. Shift to this. Oh, okay. It doesn't work. On yeah, on some surface the shift button is not working to generate straight line support. So yeah, let's do it manually. This area you want to get close as possible to the edge on this part. It is fine. Okay, let me slide the model down a bit. This is why on this row here, uh, this is why on this row here, you need to have the support as close to the edge as possible. And on the rest here is fine. Now let's add some support around the drain hole. This inside might need some support because they are gonna be very thin during printing, but do not use heavy size. We could use medium size support. We're gonna need a bunch of them because when this layer is printed, it's gonna be a very thin layer. This only to maintain the thin layers from the resistance of the resin. This line of support is for extra security. Now back to heavy support. I forgot to add more support around the drain hole. This side is finished. Now this whole area, they do not need support, but so the model will start from this to this area here. So we need build a line of support from here to this area, from here towards the center, and then do the same with the other side. And then a bit of support here. Okay, now let's see. Do I need some support around the belt? Nope. Although although you could clearly see we have some islands here, but trust me, 100% you don't need to support them. because judging from my experience, they are not even close to 10 micron. And then on the next layer, they already merged to the printed layer, the previous printed layer. So it is 100% fine if you do not support this island here. And yeah, I guess I'm finished. But let's add some extra more support. We're gonna add more. This area will be hidden, so there's no post production needed for this part. This is to ensure the survivability of the model during printing. And I am done. Switch to complete feasibility. And yeah, that is very little amount of support. But I might need to add several more because if I use the rough, see a lot of waste resin here. But if I do not use rough, we have some accidental suction cup. So let's just give them support mm, around here. Oh, along this line too. One, two, three, and then here. One, two, three. Okay. No more accidental support. Sorry, accidental suction cup. Now let's check the interior. Interior, you definitely need some support for this area here, the the crotch. Size heavy, switch to 0.6 and the base tip 0.8. If you do not support this crotch part, see the bridge is forming. Again, you will have bad print lines. And just like building a bridge, you need to start from the edge of the river and then start going across the river. And it is fine to add as much as possible because they are on the inside. And more white bridge here. Uh, see white bridge. So they need to be support. Sorry, let me check message. Okay. And another one on the other side. Uh, this color, the support shows red, so I need to delete them and move it a bit because they are too close according to the proximity detection. Now let's switch here. Okay. Yep. Go to exterior views. Let's press Z to add bracing. They are too. Oh no, they are not too short for bracing. See, we have a good bracing, and yes, this model is finished. Save hands underscore supported. If you notice the name repaired because there's an issue previously with the model, and I help sorry delete the rest of the islands and switch to the next model boots. And for the boots, let's see how can we minimize the support. Most people will orient it like this, okay? But we will have hanging support. Sorry, we will have islands here, and you cannot just support the island. When you support an island, you have to add some extra support surrounding the island to keep it stable. So maybe I will turn it upside down. See from a side. Object has structural error. Okay, let's do a quick repair using Lychee. We have a very small island here. Nope, it will. It doesn't need any support. Oh, we still have some islands here. Can I give it a bit of a rotation? A bit more. Okay, looks like there's no way to avoid the island forming here, but I should be able to use zero point 0.1 support tip on this part. And then let's check all the way up around the heel. Nope, no need support there. Yes, there's an island there, but you don't need to support it. 100% no need support. And even if you want to use support, you could use light support just to help the model from mobile. But looks like we need to use light support to prevent the model to move during printing. What about this side? Nope. Yes, also don't need support. Okay, now I can lift it 5 millimeters and then make it hollow. 2 meters wall, quality 4, update. Hang on, guys. I need to restart my phone. Yeah, sorry, guys. Looks like I missed everyone chat because there's an issue with my chat updated. Sorry, sorry. Uh, I will check the chat again. Sorry, guys. I do not intend to ignore you guys, but I do not see any new message showing up. When I restart my phone, it only shows all the chat. So let's address one. Arrows Panglet. Yes, my exposure time is 13 seconds according to the test I performed. And as I told you that in Aqua 8K, I have a very low exposure time. Correct calibration of both exposure time and printing plate are important, and FEP ACF does not make much difference unless you want to handle high speed. Yeah, agree. Renume. If you use a heater for the printer and pump up the temperature a lot, you can achieve the higher speed even an FEP. Yes, because with the heater, the resin has a very low viscosity, and you could use very high speed. But if you use heater and the heater is not compatible with your printer, there is a big risk of your print will wobble. Your print result wobble. You could search on Facebook group about print wobble or showing regular bending lines on the surface of the model if your heater is not compatible with your printer. Are you using a Mega 8K or 8KS in this demo? I'm supporting this model for my friend Waruna Weligemage. If I'm not mistaken, he will print it using Mega 8KS, and I can show you my well, anti-aliasing setting. Wait, setting. Oh yeah, I just reformat my printer. Sorry, I just reformat my printer, but I use the same anti-aliasing settings on all my printer setting. This is I turn on the anti-aliasing on Mini 8KS. Same, see all the same settings. This is why I support on Lychee and then slice on CHITUBOX. Image blur 2. This is my anti-aliasing setting. So sorry guys, I missed your chat. I think I have to regularly refresh my phone. Can we see the result later? Yes, I will post the result later. Rankle Steelskins. Hi, Rankle Steelskins. Sorry for the late reply. I have tried slicing with lychee yesterday with as anti-aliasing 2 blur and 3 gray. It took my machine 30 minutes to slice 10% of the full 12K inch plate. Yeah, that is why I do not use lychee for slicing. I quickly export everything to OBJ. You could export it to STL. I prefer STL format and use CHITUBOX to slice everything in 10 minutes. And yes, here's another issue. Uh, People tend to forget when you are looking at a model, you are looking at a magnified when you zoom in on your model. What you are watching right now, it's like you are magnified your models. I don't know how many, like 200 magnification, and you can see the mesh here. See, and if you are a beginner printer user and you could do your model, you will tend to try to make the surface smooth by using a very high polygon or subdivide your model like crazy. But people tend to forget what you are going to be print. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is like in 1/6 scale. It will be only like 5 centimeter. It will, yeah, probably just this tall, and you cannot see the mesh or the polygon edge at all. So you don't need a very high polygon or very high subdivided model. You could decimate your model to like maybe just like 50 megabyte. And judging from the 10-minute slice, I would estimate the model has like maybe 100 or 200 megabyte files. You could slice it to, sorry, you could open Blender and then decimate to like maybe 30 or 50 megabytes. So you will decimate 80% or 75%, and the slicing time will down into maybe just like 2 or 3 minutes. So the bigger the file size, the longer it will take to slice. But yeah, in the case of Lychee versus CHITUBOX, that is why I prefer Chitu for slicing your model. Okay, now, okay, Thomas, love your video. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Thomas. And I will refresh again. Looks like I have some issue here on my phone. The chat is not refreshing. Okay, no new message. Now back to the model. Let's give them hello. Thickness 2, quality 4, update. Now let's give it some drain hole. Start with this area, the lowest part. I cannot fit the 3 millimeter drain hole, so let's use 2 millimeter. Okay, Let's see. Can I add more here for 3 millimeters? Yep, I can add some there and then there. And then also over there. Let's give it here, 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 and here, and here. Again, put as many drain hole as possible in this area that can be safely hidden. Oh yeah, looks like he messed up with making the model. There is a very thin gap here. You could see the thin gap. So any modeler in the chat, make sure you do not leave thin gap on your model. See, look at this part here. Wait. Look at this part here. This is a very thin gap and it will tend to trap resin and it will crack or at least you're gonna need extra washing maybe like several cycles to make sure no resin trap inside. Okay, I want to add more drain hole at the pack area here. Switch to this view, back to hollow, adding holes. Okay, we can do 3 millimeters, uh 3 millimeters, and then here, yeah, put as much as possible. Okay, good. Now let's do the. Have I lifted? Yes, I have give it 5 millimeter lift structure. Click the model on grid interval 4 island search selected accuracy real. I only wish someday there's a slicer that could do support like lychee and then could slice like chitubox all in one slicer. I really wish that. Okay, forget it. There is not much island that needs detection here. I can base on my experience to support all of them, but if you want to learn how to detect island by on your own, you could use on the right side of the screen here, the slider. See, you could see where the island forming. It is as simple as that. Yeah, simple for me. Okay, move to heavy support. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Switch visibility, heavy size. But yeah, like 10 to 8 years ago, before the rise of CHITUBOX and Lychee, yeah, no slicer that could do auto support. So you can only rely on yourself. Some even will model the support directly to the model. So it's quite a wild time. Okay, support around the holes. Oh, this is another error if you're a modeler. See the back side here. When inserting the leg, I'm not sure it will fit because this will get in the way, but at least it can be easily sanded and If my friend will fix this part, he could easily switch support. Sorry, I mean he could easily use the same supported file and then switch the model to a revised model. Yeah, thanks to CHITUBOX. Sorry, I mean thanks to Lychee. CHITUBOX has the same. CHITUBOX Pro 2 has the same function, but I tried it, but it's kind of messy. So I need to give some support here, and then we will add more heavy support again. Sorry, and not again. Sorry. Uh, if you have some holes for your models pack like this, make sure to support them. I mean, make sure to support the edge. See, this is gonna be very sharp and thin, so you need to support this area, and you want to make sure the holes are formed correctly, so your model can fit well. And I'm gonna add some extra support. Okay, sorry. Time to refresh the chat. Okay, no new chat. Let's see. Oh yeah. Uh, this is a bug. This is a bug on Lychee. See, and infinite support. Delete. And then I need to add a row. Maybe a row or two very light support to prevent the model from wobbling during printing, because on this angle it will get pulled toward the back, so I need to add this to keep stable. Okay, initially I said you don't need to support this island here, but it is fine since we are adding stable we are adding support to stabilize the model. We might as well just support them, but I do not use any heavy support. I just put the light support there. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Yeah. The center lines are more packed compared to the side here. This to maintain the model, to keep it stable. Hmm, okay, let's check the interior. Uh, Make sure to support the white bridge. Uh, Heavy support, my heavy support setting, switch to diameter 6, and the bottom and the base tip 0.8. We have a white bridge here that need to be support. And then let's just add a bunch of random support on the interior. If you don't want to add this amount of support, it is fine, but because this is for production model, I want to make sure the model will not shrink or deform, especially if this will not be print on my printer. But I will try to print it. I will test print it and then show you guys the print result. Okay, let's see what sort of fake island that are detected. Nope, delete, delete, delete. Okay. Okay, finish with this one here. Uh, Bracing. We have some accidental suction cup, so switch to this part here. See, let's generate one light support and then another light support here. Rebrace again. Oh, we have a very big in the center. Let's just use medium size. This is just an extra support to block the accidental suction cup. Okay, good. Actually, because he's gonna print this model on Mega 8K and Mega 8K has perforated hole. So, okay, if your build plate has perforated hole, it is fine if you have accidental suction cut around the bottom of your support. Because I want to try to print it also on my Mega 8K. Yeah, it is fine. Now, let's see. I almost forgot this part here. I'm gonna support it and then use zero point 0.1. I'm gonna use zero point 0.1 on this area here. Use zero point 0.1 size support is always risky, but I am confident that this part only needs zero point 0.1 because it is very thin. See, it is very thin. And then let's see this side. Nope, no support at all there. I want to adjust the tip a little bit. Okay, done. Now save. Okay, I will not work on the other side. I will. So no, no, no. Sorry. I will not on. I will not work on the others of the boots because it is practically the same, just the mirror. I will work. I will make the support after I end the live stream. So let's work on a different shape of the model. I have finished the torso, hands. Sorry. Details. I finished the boots, pants also. Oh, the head. Let's work on support for the head now. It may seem simple, but the head is like I don't know what does it call tiger face. Okay, sorry, I import the wrong files. I should have import this one, the one that is already repaired. Okay. Anyone recognize the character here? Okay, rotate. Okay, let's see. Do I need to support this part? Yeah, I need to support it a bit. And let's check the angle. Let's give it a higher angle. A bit more higher angle. Okay, now give it a 5 millimeter lift and then hollow. 2 millimeter, 4. Let's see. Okay, this is good. So the angle at the top of the head here is not very low. If the angle is very low, like for example, like this, you're gonna have a very bad layer lines here. Not bad print lines, layer lines, the stepping lines. So this angle is the most optimal. Oh no, 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 no. We still have such a low angle here. See, this area is almost flat. So that means I need to raise the angle again. I cannot raise it too high because of the beard here. And looks like I have another problem with this angle. Oh my god, the model. Oh my god, the model has a gap and only merge at a very thin cross section here. Okay, looks like I cannot support this part. See, it only merge on this area. Another reason, if you might experience a bad print lines, that could be because of the mistake in the model. That is not because of the hollow. Let me delete the hollow, the interior. See, it only merged very thin in this part, and this part here, and another part here. See, these are all separate mesh. See, this blue line, they are all separate mesh. And that could be a problem during production or during, especially during printing. So sorry guys, I cannot do the support on this model. I might need to ask my friend to fix the model first. Yeah, sorry, I cannot continue working on this model. So sorry, let's just delete this model and let's work on the, yeah. Do I need to work on the base? Do I need to work on the base? See, anyone? Anyone still watching? Do I need to work on the base? And let me refresh the chat. Okay, according to my friends, he will print this on Mega 8K. Mm, so let's see if I'm using Mega 8K size, how many can I fit in a single print? One. Oh my God, I can only fit like two models. Not enough here, not enough here. This maybe use like this angle so we could fit like four. Oh, okay, I could lower the angle a bit, move it, so at least in one single run he could fit like four models. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, there's no way I could give it a minimum support on this model, but we'll see, we will see. Okay, the angle is okay, the angle is good. Leave the model 5 and then hollow 2 millimeters, quality 4. Date, updating the chat, refresh everything. Okay, now let's see. Let's check the slicer. There is a very thin gap here, and it's kind of useless to have that very thin gap, especially for the interior. So I will raise the thickness a bit, maybe 2.2. Date. Mm, what about 2.1? Yeah, that is how I work. I will always try and test the number. Okay, 2.1 is not enough. So the minimum is 2.2 millimeter thickness. So we don't have super thin part that will only jeopardize your print result. Hmm, interesting. Yo, update, bro. Okay. And okay, let's start with the lowest hole. So we need to place some drain hole there. Now, this is how I would place the drain hole. See, in this area, we can barely put any drain hole at all. Okay, looks like I need to increase the wall thickness again. It doesn't work. Let's try 2.4. Update. Let's see. Sorry. Let me think a little bit. Oh no. Undo. Hang on. Let me think a little bit. Uh, okay, this is ugly. Yeah, there is no other way other than increase the wall thickness. Let's try 2.5. Oh, okay. Sorry. No. My bad. I forgot one thing. I totally forgot. This is the bottom of the bottom surface of the base. This is the upper surface of the face. This is where the model will stand, which means I could use this side to place lots of drain hole, and I have just the exact spot, which is over here, the lowest part, the lowest suction cup. Okay, is it penetrate? No. As a matter of fact, I could use a much bigger size here. Nope. Let's give it 3 millimeters. Adjust it a bit. So this way, he only need to work sanding and putty the holes here. Oh, do I need to add holes here? Yep. Let's just add holes here to help with the drainage. Okay, we have no suction cup here, but I'm just gonna put drain hole. And then let's, okay, up at this corner, and another one at this corner. Okay, support structure, snap on grid interval 4, island. There's no point for island detection because clearly this is the island. This is the island. And yeah, I don't want to waste time on this live stream to generate, sorry, for the island detection. So let's start with heavy support. Click here and then shift and then press it here. This is the starting point. So I want to add some extra. Okay. And then click that and then click this one. Make sure it turns white. Move to the other corner and then finish. No, not finish. Not finish yet. And then the same with over here. One, two, three. I'm gonna click this one, move to this side, and then repeat. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Is it enough? Does it is it enough? Enough or not? Enough or not? Let's recheck again. Recheck again. Hang on, hang on. Okay, the model is gonna be quite big and it is quite thick. And we want to print four. We could print four at the same time on Mega 8K. The more object or the more full plate, the higher the spilling force or the suction force. So yeah, let's give it one more row of heavy support here, and then also over here. Let's give it heavy support on this part. Hey, yo, what is going on? More, more. Yo, what is going on? No, okay, I cannot press shift. Look like there's an error with this surface or there is some bug on Lychee. I'm not sure. Okay, looking good. Now, there's still a very wide surface area here that need to be supported, but if we use heavy support, it's gonna be quite a chore to make the surface clean. So I will just put the heavy around the edge and then switch to medium from this corner to this corner. Uh, Now we have two side of triangle. So I will click this one here and then divide this area again. I'm not sure what does it call. Make it like you are making a fan. See, like a fan. Yeah, it's like opening a fan. Do more here. The area is quite big. This is just guesstimate, okay? The placement is just guesstimate, but roughly like this, something like this. And then switch to heavy again. We want to make sure they are stable during the printing all the way up. So I'm gonna add extra support here. Definitely gonna use heavy because this is big model all the way up. Oh, sorry. Let's give it a bit to the center because if we place it near the edge, that could damage, and we want to minimize damage. So yeah, something like that. And then do the same with this part. Pull it all the way up. We still need to add some extra around this area. This is to maintain the square shape. Now click and then move all the way to the other corner and then shift and then finish. Do it again with this part and then shift and then somewhere here and then finish. Yeah, this is why I like Lychee for the support function. Uh, on second thought, I'm gonna add extra more support here. Okay, that looks good so far. And there's a corner here that is hanging. I'm gonna give it a medium size. This is to prevent this corner to buckle up. One extra support here, okay. Now, I'm finished with the exterior. Now let's go to the interior. Switch to heavy support. Tip size 0.6. Base tip 0.8. This is like walking the plank on the pirate's ship. So I'm gonna give it some support. If you do not support this part, yeah, bad print lines. It's like a broken, unfinished bridge. And look at this area here. We have a big area here. So let's just use another function from Lychee, the brush support. So you just click and hold and then drag your mouse along the interior. You could do the same with the exterior too, but I mostly use this for interior. And we have our support. Uh, might wanna delete some error. This is to maintain the shape. I think I made a mistake. These are too close. Okay, so I need to undo. So let's just do the brush support on this yellow highlight area. These are all just random to fill the part and then give it a nice distance among uh, uh, forget it. Yeah, just give it nice distance. This is to make sure that this very big base will maintain the shape and do not warp during printing or even during curing. And if you ask me, will I remove the support before after curing? And especially for this base, I will remove the support after curing because the support on this base could help maintain the shape to prevent it warp during because to prevent it warping because of the shrinkage during curing. Okay, and finish. Let's check the exterior again. Give it some bracing. Restart the chat. Refresh the chat and check the final. I mean, check for the final time. Okay, because my friend is using Mega 8K and it has perforated build plate, so all of this accidental suction cup should be fine. But I will still give it a rough because we want in uh the base to. I mean, we want the support to help the base to maintain the shape during drying and then during curing. So I will give it a rough thickness 0.5 millimeters, wall 0, angle walls 0. And I am finished. File save as base repair underscore superted. And I am finished. I guess I am finished with all the support, guys. Is there anything you guys want to ask? Yeah, let's wait for a bit. Let's check. Nope, no more, no message that I miss. But I will wait a bit in case you guys want to ask something before I end my stream. I have finished with support most of the model. Yeah, I haven't finished the right side of the boot, but you guys have watched. I'm working on the left side, so it is pretty much the same, just the mirror. And for the head sculpt, I cannot do work on the support for the head sculpt because there is an issue with the model that need to be fixed first. Yeah, I guess that is all for my live stream today. Working on, sorry, I mean my live stream today supporting model. I guess there's no question. I guess that is all, guys. Maybe I'm not sure. Should I do live support every 2 or 3 days, or maybe 3 times a week? I'm not sure. I'm still testing the water. So see you guys on the next video or on the next live stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.